All right, we should be live. Good late afternoon, folks. It's Saturday. No, it's not. My brain is fried. It is Sunday, November 9th. Just before 4 p.m. should be the time. Temperature about minus 2 degrees Celsius. I'll take a look at the chat. Flick Hunter is here. My YT account, Cynthia, Drew, Michael Kaiser, Brown, 42. We got Drew Costin, Medano, Toronto Moose, Mario. Sorry if I missed anyone. Sweet Caroline, Jillian Felix, Marg D. Thank you for tuning in to the third video I've made today. I went out early this morning and made one. And hopefully this is the last one. I just did one through Chinatown. Let me get my umbrella here. And I finished up at Grange Park. And I thought, why not do a little live stream? And my video this morning kind of led me to believe today's snowfall was going to be a little underwhelming, but it has actually been quite relentless. And we've accumulated a few centimeters of snow. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 in total. So it's a case of the longer you wait, the better it's going to get outside. So I caught it at the thin end of things first thing in the morning. It was fun getting out and making a video and getting that up on the channel in time. And here it is. Full speed ahead. I just want to make sure I got my backpack all zipped up. I'm a little paranoid sometimes. I've got a glove on, so it's not like I can check things as I normally would. Gertej is here. Chowdhury, remember, for 2 months. Rain soon because the snow will melt very fast. Chowdhury, thank you for the 2 months of channel membership, and you are probably right. This is very Canadian weather, but it should note that it's not always like this at this time of year. In fact, last year it didn't snow until November 28th. Alex from Phuket Walk is here. It's not quite the same weather as you're having down in Thailand or over in Thailand. But this is Grange Park. I just did a video that started up at Walmer and Spadina. And I made my way through Chinatown and finished up here. Hey, Sweet Frost Gaming. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Cheers to you. And again, huge thanks to everyone for sending their birthday wishes and gifts and supers. You guys overwhelmed me. Last night I went to my favorite spot in the city, Barbarians. I had a 12-ounce New York strip with a baked potato covered in bacon bits and cheese and sour cream. It was fantastic. Got some mushrooms for an appetizer and garlic bread. And of course there were adult beverages involved. I was a little hungover this morning, actually. Someone checking in from South America. There's 10 centimeters in Mississauga. Well, it's not going to get much worse than this. I think it's supposed to slowly let up. Mark D says the steak looked big. Yeah, I could barely finish it. I was like, it's my birthday, let's get the 16 ounce. And it's like, nah. That's like what, an extra $40? And I'm probably not going to be able to finish it. And a very large baked potato, indeed. Well, Lisa, time to say goodbye to your favorite park. I don't know, for downtown parks, I think Grange is top 2. Berksey might be my number 1 pick, just because I have fond memories of going there and eating lunch from the St. Lawrence market when I was working in the financial district. But this just seemed like a good place to gravitate towards after recording through Chinatown. And we just started the stream, not even 9 minutes ago, and already have over 300 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. Jeanette, for a hot chocolate. Jeanette with the contribution. Thank you so much, Jeanette. As if you didn't spoil me enough last week. Starting this week off with a hot chocolate. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Yes, starting this week off. I'm one of those super right and not annoying at all. Sunday is the first day of the week, people. And I will fight you to the death over that. Show me a calendar that starts with a Monday. This is Yonge Street, and typically the snow doesn't accumulate downtown, particularly around the financial district as well as other parts of town. There's a bit of a heat effect. And I'm noticing there's definitely more slush here than up on Bloor in the annex. Phillips says, nice to see me wearing a poppy. Yeah, I made sure to buy 2 last night, or donate and receive 2. Here in this great country of Canada, I think it would be swell if you made a little donation and donned a poppy. You don't have to, but a lot of brave people helped create what we have and protect it. So Remembrance Day is on November 11th. This is Queen Street. I don't really know where I'm going. Maybe we'll go south down John a little bit. Coffeini says your computer and phone calendars start on Monday. You prefer it that way? Well, tell your phone and computer their calendars are fucked up and very incorrect. Pardon my French. I know there's some little ones who watch the channel. Mike Ward with the super chat. Thank you, Mike Ward. Thank you so much for the $5 and the support. If you're wondering why this nutcase is using an umbrella, it's just to keep the equipment dry. Not just the phone, but this thing, my audio receiver. You know what they say, good audio is more important than good video? I stream in the highest allowable bit rate to allow for maximum quality. But if the audio is shit, it's not going to be very good to watch. Billy T says Remembrance Day is important. It's important for a number of reasons. It's an important history lesson there too. We as a human race don't seem to be able to learn from our stupid past. But we should honor those who stuck up for the free world. I was watching a YouTube video that came up on my feed about a lady who was 101 years old. And she lived through her husband going off to World War II. And she still runs a jewelry store. How nuts is that? She's 101. She had all her marbles. She was completely mobile and able to get around and do things for herself. She ran a jewelry store. I also saw an interview of like an Irish farmer. I think it was from the 1950s, who was over 100 years old. So to think that guy, just watching a guy speak about his life going by, who was born in the mid 1800s, is kind of unreal. I don't know why I'm on this topic. Jessica says you love the snow. Well, in terms of festive coming up, we've got a tree lighting ceremony at numerous places. There'll be the lights at Yorkville, the holiday magic lights, the ones at Nathan Phillips Square, the Distillery District. Sometimes the Harbourfront has something going on, possibly up in North York. Not sure why we're going south down John, but we are. It's kind of mucky down here. Florian says it's Christmas feeling a little bit with the snow. There's some great patios here, but I don't think anyone's gonna sit there covered up or not in this. Steph Curry says you can't take another 5 months of this. It won't be sloppy and snowy for most of it. All right, I'm gonna keep moving here. I don't wanna get music copyrighted on this. But this is Adelaide Street, so we're gonna just keep on talking as we go by. Yeah, this is definitely a time to be super considerate of others, especially those with ability impairments. Sorry if I don't know the politically correct term. But there's a lot of people that could use a hand. Hold the door, push someone up a ramp. And if you have a sidewalk, make sure it's clear and accessible. There was a lady leaving the Yonge Eglinton Center who had about 4 shopping bags full of groceries. And she was a good 20 meters behind me, and I stood there and held the door for her. And she tried to shuffle and run a little bit. Normally I wouldn't have done that. 20 meters is quite a ways to hold the door, but hey man, you're stepping outside into this. Let's all be a little bit more considerate. Hey, we got a super chat. Sweet Frost Gaming. Definitely no one wants to be on that covered patio. Especially not since you can't even smoke there for all the smokers. But thank you, Sweet Frost Gaming. Cheers to you. Thank you for the super. Uh-oh, the old nose faucet has opened up. King Street is just south of here. Sorry. I was trying to step out of that guy's way, but he was turning right, so I accidentally stepped into his way. Margie says, sorry to hear about Jeff's accident. Yeah, Jeff Lepard has been a bit of a magnet for bad luck the past few years. He had an accident in Thailand while I was there. Well, I just left Thailand. Hey, we've been sniped. How's it going, sir? That looks like a pocket too.
It is a pocket too.
Do you check the lens often for snow? Do you check the lens of the camera often for snow?
No.
Oh, I find it like, if you get like a snowflake that sticks to it, it can kind of screw things up.
Oh.
I always give it a wipe every once in a while.
Oh, it doesn't look too bad right now.
So you're moderating and making a video?
I'm just using the superior phone to track it.
I don't know about that. This is a Snapdragon.
Well, I switched and I don't have any regrets.
Oh, as I was saying, yeah, it sucks about Jeff. He had that accident in Thailand, and it was after any travel insurance would have been available. Most credit cards, when you leave, only have 10 or 14 days of travel medical insurance. I think the TD Visa cards give you 21, but either way, he had a horrific accident there and ended up in the hospital. Oh, she was live? T-Shots was live? I haven't. I woke up this morning, I made a video, I went home, I uploaded it for this morning, and then I just chilled and came out and did this. I was not paying attention to what anyone was doing. But it seems the later in the day, the better the snow got.
Yep.
But yeah, that happened to Jeff, and then last week he was driving on the 401 with his work vehicle and it burst open into flames. So if you want to learn more about that and possibly help Jeff out, I made a community post, but thank you, Mark D, for mentioning that. So this is Adelaide, and because we're going to be walking between a lot of tall towers pretty soon, and there's a bit of a heat island effect downtown, there's not going to be a lot of snow accumulated in the financial district, so I'm going to turn off of Adelaide at some point. Alright, we are coming upon Simcoe Street. Oh, speaking of live, I'm still planning on going live tonight on the Johnny Stumbles channel. Head over there, make sure you've subscribed and hit the bell if you want to be notified of that. I'll be live around 8 p.m. I'm going to be kind of wiped out after today, but we'll hang out a little bit. Randy Ruck says this is hardly a snowstorm. Yeah, I don't consider this a snowstorm.
I'm certainly moderating right now. 100%.
Thank you. Thank you, Vasily. Your paycheck depends on it. Vivian, our CEO, is auditing you. But yeah, this is not a snowstorm or a winter storm. This is just what was a pretty light snowfall, but now it's a bit heavier. Not sure how much good this umbrella is doing. Krista says, watch the stupid drivers. I've seen a number of cars, like that knucklehead over there, wipe the snow off the roof of your car. You are a certified asshole if you go out without clearing all the snow off your car, especially in below zero weather like this. It can freeze and large chunks of ice can fly off your vehicle, especially when you get up to speed. And they can land on the windshield of the driver behind you.
Yes.
Also, you know, maybe ride the right direction in the bike lanes. It's not like there's another street parallel to this where you can do just that.
You're not going to see if the snow hits the other vehicle at your own rear window.
Yeah.
It's snowed in.
Yeah, it's simply defrosting your windows is not enough. You need to take the snow brush and the scraper and make sure your vehicle is nice and clear. But most of what I've seen today is pretty good. I've seen drivers moving cautiously. Maybe that's because they're caught off guard and don't have their winter tires on yet. It's also important to remember there's some people right now on the roads. This is the first time they've ever driven in the snow. Lisa says there's a lot of certified assholes. Did I just repeat that? This is University Avenue. I just featured University Avenue in a video, so I'm gonna keep going. Maybe we'll go up. That cyclist just got forced into turning left. He wanted to go straight, I think. But the real test will be when people are going to work tomorrow and commuting. Traffic is pretty light. I found downtown to be kind of light in pedestrian traffic today. I think a lot of people saw this weather and we're just probably like, screw it. Did you find today not many people were out?
What do you mean?
Like pedestrian wise, it seemed a little bit lighter than a usual Sunday.
I did mention there was not a lot of those e-bikes.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of those delivery guys looked out the window and said, hell no. Hey Johnny, do you host group walks? Not really. I've had people reach out to me and ask me to be like their tour guide when they visit, offering to pay or host groups. I had a company sign me up to do just that in Toronto. It was for, well, I won't say who it was for, but I ultimately decided not to sign the contract, but it would have roped me into hosting large groups of people walking around the city. I mean, it would have paid very well, but I was like, that sounds like a job. I don't really want one of those. Kind of defeats the purpose. Oh, the pedestrian sign is over there. Yes, Flick Hunter. I am 45 minutes deep into Not Just Bikes' excellent video, roasting Mr. Forrester. Kind of an elitist. But if you are ordering food today, it's a nice idea to tip a few bucks extra. A lot of these guys are just trying to make a living out in this misery, riding around. I mean, if someone's going to risk their life to bring you a pizza or food, the least you can do is be a little grateful for it. There's the keg. So I guess we're going to go check out Nathan Phillips Square and see how things are like up there around the Toronto sign. Canadian guy says we don't have that much snow over in Windsor. Well, someone was saying Mississauga has like 12 centimeters. We only have like 2. not sure how much good this umbrella is doing. I'm going to try to go without the umbrella for a little bit. Were you using an umbrella?
No.
No?
No, my gimbal was absolutely soaked when I went in to get food, and all the ice started melting. I go to the
Yeah, I go through.
because the snow, it fell right in the morning, and then it melted on the gimbal and the phone, and then it got even colder, and then it froze into ice. And then it melted once I went into the restaurant. So.
Well, I think I can get away with no umbrella for a little bit. Hey, a super came in. Alex Grimshaw, 3 pounds. Hope you're keeping warm today. Kinda. Left hand, not so much. Right hand, yes, so much. I'm gonna put my umbrella in my backpack. One sec, guys. After these messages, we'll be right back. And holy cow, 786 viewers. Wow, wow, wee, wow, wow. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Ever get the feeling some creep is just recording you while you put your umbrella away? Time to possibly destroy my gimbal. I think it also helps that the snow just got a lot lighter. Gertej says, good thing you stayed at home. Mara Toronto says, hi from Yonge and Eglinton. I'll be back to Yonge and Eglinton whenever this is done. But it's the first big snowfall like this. I wanted to get out and make the most. That's 2 videos and a stream. Oh, I see a super. Jeff Kennedy, hope I'm wearing my non-slips. Jeff Kennedy. Thank you so much, Jeff Kennedy. I am wearing my barefoot boots. I got these last year as a gift from my mom for Christmas, I believe. I've gone all 0 drop, mostly barefoot, except for my Ultras wide toe box shoes, and now I've got the boots to match. They're waterproof, they're insanely comfortable, and they're pretty warm too. I team them up with merino wool socks. We're Toronto cheering for the poppy. I think last year Vasily gave me a poppy.
Mine's at home right now. Last year I did. You were in my area last year.
I remember I lost my poppy, and this guy reaches into his pocket and goes, here you go.
time when it was raining super hard. And it was not snowing.
I'm going to go up. These steps are kind of slippery. Do proceed with caution. Don't lose a boot or you're screwed, Randy Ruck. It's crazy. 1 or 2 weeks ago, there were people in shorts and t-shirts. I think 3 weeks ago, there was like a marathon wrapping up here. Is there more snow on the way? No, it's supposed to wrap up. Somewhat. I think it's going to snow lightly until about 7 p.m. The forecast said. Last night before bed, I checked the forecast and it said it might start around 8 or 9 a.m. So I canceled my morning premiere. I figured if it was snowing, I would just go out and make a video instead. Anne-Marie Higgins says hello from Ireland. Shout out to David, big fan of yours, thank you. Oh, that sounds cool, Jess Smitty. Barbarian Steakhouse had a Royal Legion box out with poppies in it. Squeaky Wheel says Affinity is now free from their site. Affinity Photo? I use Affinity Photo 1. I never paid to upgrade to 2. I'm gonna have to check that out when I get home. Thank you for the heads up. Screw you, Adobe. I had Adobe Premiere and all their apps on a ridiculously expensive monthly subscription, but then I just bought DaVinci Resolve Studio and Affinity and haven't looked back. I recently switched from the ChatGPT Plus to Google Gemini at their Pro subscription. I haven't been using it to enhance thumbnails or anything like that, don't worry. Helen Collins, happy birthday to you the other day. I'll be joining the 40 rank on Wednesday. Buy something to keep yourself warm. Be safe. Well, happy birthday to you in advance, Helen, and thank you so much for the super chat. Cheers to you and welcome to the 40s Club. It's the best damn club there is. So firmly middle age, you can't deny it anymore. Lisa doesn't like Gemini Pro. I find it does a better job for some things than GPT for the things I use it for. It's a better package. Nano Banana is a way, way, way better imaging tool than what GPT gives you. Like, it's night and day better. And you get storage and all kinds of other stuff. Lisa says age is but a number. True. But also not true. I mean, I think if you're looking for an employee, yeah, you can't discriminate based on age, but if you're looking for a mate, you know, things can get a little weird. All right, Jack the Shark and Matthew were in the area. Sasha says, I look like I stopped aging a couple of years ago, thanks. When I was living in Korea, in my 30s. Everyone thought I was like 22, 23. Lisa says, keep talking. Yeah, you know where I was going with that. There was a point there to be made. I just wasn't very articulate at making it. Are they going to open the skating rink? Do you know when the skating rink's opening?
Well, usually they open before we get snow. I think
But-
it's like either the second or last week in November, usually.
Yeah, because last year it didn't snow till November 28th, and they usually hold their big lights festival at Nathan Phillips Square. Krista says, true, try having a baby at 40 years old. Hey, I have a friend and his wife who just had their third, and they're over 40.
Skating rink opening.
You asking Google? Greetings, Jasmine NYC.
Okay, well that helps a lot.
When is the skating rink at Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto opening this year?
The Nathan Phillips Square skating rink typically opens in late November or early December. Based on previous years, it often aims for the last weekend of November.
You try having a baby. All right.
That's like literally the exact same thing they just told me.
Yeah, that's a pretty generalized answer. I guess there's no published date. So the city hasn't posted it yet.
It has, probably.
You're surprised Muskoka avoided the snow. Yeah, usually that area. Muskoka, Huntsville, and Orillia, Barrie. They usually get a lot more snow. Hey, there's a cop car with its lights on up ahead. I wonder if that's a traffic stop or if there's something. Yeah, it looks like a traffic stop. Smart idea. Pull your wipers off. I only started doing that because I saw other people doing that. Oh, I watched the movie last night, Good Fortune, with Mr. Ansari, who was of Parks and Rec fame. That guy is hilarious. I'm glad he's back. Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves. Kind of a dumb movie, but it was charming and entertaining and certainly funny enough to warrant a view. Denmark says the Nathan Phillips Square skate rental has it set for November 30th. So I wonder what the case is for the College Park Barbara Ann Scott Ice Trail. Sal Smith says it's bad for your wipers. Garbage bags work better. Jeanette plans to watch Good Fortune next weekend on Prime Video. You love Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves too, but it's hard not to notice just how stiff and wooden he is as an actor. I think that's part of his charm. Keanu's best movie is Knock Knock. Howard Charco's here. Greetings, Howard. Yep. Ford vs. Ferrari was excellent. F1 with Brad Pitt was also excellent. If you like that sort of movie. Man, this is a long, long light cycle we're waiting for. So long, in fact. I'm gonna go for it, but Snow is nice to look at, but not walk in. If you have the right footwear, it's not so bad. I'd rather walk in this than like -10 with the wind chill and no snow. It's definitely all about having the right footwear and paying attention to the surface you're walking on. David Inc. says almost 900 watching. Just wait until we get an actual snowstorm. I think one of my most watched ever streams that wasn't New Year's or a big parade was a snowstorm stream. We had several thousand watching. Well, that definitely looked like a traffic stop. The hospital is possibly heading up to Hospital Road. We got 4 hospitals just north of here. It seems a little snowier on Bay Street, but let's go check out D Square. I always like the lighting around here once we get around sunset time. Vasily, Jeanette says hi.
I literally just popped in the chat.
Oh.
I realized I haven't said hello like at all.
There's Best Buy, who have made a bit of a comeback. Recently thwarting the likes of Amazon and Costco. Maybe, Mike T, maybe there's a heavy load back there. Hey, Plush Mickey is here. Well, the snow has really lightened up since I started this stream. Thank you, Sasha. There's just something awesome about the glow from all these billboards on the concrete, especially when the ground's a little bit wet. That's not all concrete. There's a lot of asphalt and cement too, but you get the idea. Sweet, that just answered a question of mine. That cop was wearing an Axon body camera. I was wondering if the Toronto police use Axon. They've got some crazy technology in the pipeline. A lot of it's surveillance and security related. I was wondering if they were using them here. How crazy, you ask? Well, if a cop car sees you doing something dangerous, rather than a police chase breaking out, it'll be able to scan the license plate in and dispatch a drone, and the drone will be able to follow the car, so you don't have a cop speeding down the road putting everyone in grave danger, because those often end in deadly crashes. One like that has happened recently. Axon has all kinds of stuff like that in the works. Might be a investment opportunity. I think they've got a pretty strong moat. Anyways, I just wanted to see if the Toronto cop was wearing that brand. There's also very scary potential uses of that tech, of course. Carol says, how would you know you're being chased? Well, that's just it. They would just follow the driver. So the driver wouldn't speed and endanger everyone recklessly. And the police would be able to keep a distance and they would know exactly where it goes. There's other uses too. A lot of retail security uses. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to what's turned into a bit of a winter wonderland. This is the first time I've been covered in snow in quite a while. Microphone is covered in snow, wearing one of the winter toques, no Blue Jays cap tonight. And just a reminder, I'm going to be going live on the Johnny Stumbles channel tonight at 8 p.m. if you want to hang out with some of the same folks you see here. It's a pretty informal hangout kind of stream. Bill Wilson says we're at YD Square. Indeed. The square temporarily renamed, so much so they didn't even bother to invest in a proper sign. It's just like a cheap printed banner because I think they know if they put up something more than that, it would be defaced. And they're going to have to change the name anyways pretty soon. Tavane Palmer, 99 cents. Thank you, Tavane. Thank you so much for your support. And we're at well over 900 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Axon are also offering integration of their body cams with Motorola for duress activation, so the feed can be live streamed to the operator. Yeah, and a lot of retail employees will be able to hit like a panic button, and the Axon camera will go to a central feed where a security response can be dispatched. They can see what's happening in real time, notify the police, etc. They got a lot of really cool stuff. Strike Eagle says, what's the new name going to be? I don't know. That's just a pipe dream. Dream when I say it's going to be renamed soon. There's a Shake Shack. I have not yet been to the Shake Shack at Yonge and Eglinton.
Yeah, it was pretty.
There's not a whole lot of snow accumulating on Yonge Street. And didn't I just come down Yonge Street in a stream at the end of last week? So maybe I'll head over to church and I'll walk up that way. Johnny should be the ambassador of Toronto? Oh, I don't think so. What's my thoughts on Sora? Sora AI? I don't really have much experience with it. But I'm a fan of what Google's been able to do, but I don't really want to get into video generation. Name it Toronto Square. There's an obvious name. I gotta mute it for a sec.
This is my lawn. I'm First Nation.
Joe Carter Square. I don't know, I would rather replace the Ted Rogers statue in front of the dome with one of Carter leaping around the bases. I think that would be a little more appropriate. We'll name Dundas Square after someone more Canadian. Terry Fox would be my choice. If not, Toronto Square works. Johnny as Toronto Mayor? No. As if I know the first thing about running a city. I don't want to walk through this thing. It's always awkward walking through a tight space like that with scaffolding with a camera like this. Screaming Preacher Square. That would be more or less the northwest corner. Hey, we cracked 1,000 viewers. Holy cow, thank you. I wonder how many people have dropped their phone and they've fallen through these grates. I bet somebody has had that unfortunate experience. Randy Ruck says the last thing I would want is being mayor. Am I kidding? Well, that sounds like a real job. I mean, I could do the John Tory thing and do absolutely nothing, including not raise property taxes, so the next person will get blamed and criticized for my inactivity. I could always do that. Elect me, I am Milk Toast, the mayor edition. Sal says grate should be horizontal, no slips. There should be something there to add a little bit of grip. Serge can't wait to see some snow in the UK. I think I'm going to go along Gerrard here over to Church. It's not feeling all that wintry on Yonge. Johnny, where am I going for Christmas? Over at that period, I usually spend a day or two in Niagara, but I'm normally in Toronto. I got my mom and my brother live out that way. I'll be going away in December, and hopefully I'll be doing something big in January, February, or March. I've got enough aeroplane points saved up to fuel a pretty big adventure. But this is going east on the north side of Gerrard Street East. The best part of winter is when it's completely over. Am I from Niagara originally? No, I grew up in Mississauga. How long have we been going for? 58 minutes? Well, music says not even a snowstorm can stop me. This is more like a light to medium at best snowfall.
It's just snowing. There's no snow.
If it was more of a storm, I would have capitalized that on my video. I usually use snowstorm or winter storm in the title. I found out very early on that winter storm worked particularly well with the algorithm. I started pumping that into titles, and then I noticed everyone copying that, or maybe they just coincidentally decided to do that right after I did. What part of Mississauga? You live in Cooksville. I grew up in like a few different parts of Mississauga, but the majority was in like Clarkson, Lauren Park, Port Credit. Actually, not Clarkson. I played baseball in Clarkson, and I had friends that went to Clarkson High School, but it was mostly Lauren Park and Port Credit. What do I think of Ottawa? I think it's a nice little city worth a visit. Hey, Chris the Pepsi driver's here. Greetings, Chris the Pepsi driver. So this is Church coming up. I don't think I'm going to go any more east than this. We'll head north. You put your camera away?
Oh, it just failed.
That was the Pocket 2?
Yeah. I also have a GoPro with me, so I could pull that out. But
there's an excellent Thai restaurant just on the other side of the street here called Somtin Jinda.
yeah.
Serge says this amount of snow would put all of the UK into a standstill. I don't know about that. Hey, Sandy. Thank you so much, Sandy, for the $6.99. Cheers and happy winter to you, I guess, even though technically it's still fall. It's a very arbitrary thing. Anyways, we're downtown now on the east side, heading up College Street. It's 4:50, so it's going to be dark pretty soon. The nice thing about today is I got 2 videos done and a stream, so I can just put my feet up tomorrow. I probably won't. I'll probably go out and make some content. But it's nice to know I could. Howard Charco says Winter's Eve. Oh, winter is upon us very soon. It's an apt description. Greetings, Chevy. Lisa, do you know the artist who did that? I think it's signed over there. Greeting Oz-Az. Is that how I read your name? Anna says Toronto looks so sad these days, not the same at all. How is it supposed to look? How would this look any different? Other than some shiny new condos from the 80s or 90s, particularly the east side of downtown. I mean, it's lost some grit and a whole lot of sketchiness. I don't think it's looking too shabby. You might be looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. Here's Granby Street. Back when I was in university, I knew a couple of people in university. They were a couple, and their parents bought them a townhouse on Granby Street. And I think it was only like $300,000 or $400,000, which was a lot of money back in the early 2000s, but what an investment that would have been. Marge, member for 56 months. Can I give a shout out to Gigi, who lives nearby? Well, Gigi, shout out for you, and thank you, Marge, for 56 months of membership. Oh my streaming phone battery is already at 34%.
34.
I forgot what happens when it's cold out. I forgot what happens, but I have a battery pack on me, but in this weather, do I really want to pull that out and hook it up? And also, battery percentages are kind of bullshit, because you'll find once your phone gets under like 10 or 15%, it's basically useless. It starts shutting things down, going into power saving mode. And that last 10% doesn't last anywhere near as long as the first 10%. A lot of that's just Apple and Samsung trying to make you feel like you got really good battery life on your phone. Oh, I used it for 2 hours and only went down 5%. Yeah, wait till it gets low. It'll go down very fast. Okay, we are walking right into the wind now. And that snow is driving straight into my face. This is probably the most miserable I've been streaming in a while. That's kind of nice. It's the first time. This will get old soon, I think. Yeah, Bill Chow. I usually make a point. Whoa, look how dangerous this is. This guy needs to turn his light on. It's going to be dark in half an hour, and no one's going to be able to see him. But they do it to save their e-bike battery. I forgot what I was saying. Oh well. All right, my mission is get to Bloor Yonge Station.
Is that where you're ending?
Maybe. We'll have. I don't think I was just gonna go up to like Rosedale or Summerhill whenever I started to feel like I was running out of gas, but my battery, I'm so used to this thing being able to go like 2.5 hours without needing a charge. But this is like 10 degrees colder than the coldest I've streamed at in quite a while.
I ended my stream at 15% on my iPhone because it wasn't charging. Used the liquid detected, and it's been at 15 ever since.
I used to put a little.
Yep, still at 15.
I used to put a little piece of black tape over the charge port
2 hours.
when I streamed in the snow and cold, so I would be able to plug it in.
But then trust me, as soon as I do anything on this phone, it'll drop to 0 in like half an hour.
Yeah, that's another challenge. You want to plug it in early because it can still use up more battery than you're charging it, even if you've got a fast charger plugged in when it's below 0. We're at the Church-Wellesley Village. We had a big Halloween party here a few weeks back. And now look at it. There's a look south. There's a guy in a Santa hat.
Yeah. Way too large. I have a normal hat in my backpack, to have you know, but I got it, so I was like, might as well wear it.
Coquette Walk says this weather is the best for 4K streaming. Yeah, because in the summer, or when it's warmer, your phone gets super duper hot when you do anything over 1080.
At least just keeping yourself warm.
Yeah, I find 4K streaming, the battery doesn't really drop off any faster when it's cold, but when it's not cold, the battery goes down super fast. This is actually an upscaled stream, but the next time I go live, I'll probably do it native 4K.
So there was a vapor chamber in that phone.
The new iPhone has one, right?
Do better. Yeah, it does. It only took them forever.
Well, they ran out of other things to change. They keep making very minor.
Well, I guess Tim Cook is going to have to take the 5-cent loss on that one.
Hey guys, we took away all the colors and changed the way the cameras look on the back of the phone. No space gray. Well, they're gonna come out the next time. They gotta take stuff away so when they bring it back, people are gonna go nuts for it.
Yeah, but they're marketing this to creators, to pros, right?
Yeah.
That you can film an entire movie on an iPhone. Well, you need black.
It's just
You can't film on fucking orange.
not without a case. Holly says, just enjoy 4 days downtown. Should have stayed one more day. Complete stop on the 401 west of Belleville. Enjoying my snowy walk. Thank you. I was up that way in the summertime near Picton. I had to come back as my AI chatbot had a family member in the hospital. So I wasn't able to say hi to Vivian, but next time I'm out that way, I will. Den Girl 1 $9.99. I love snow. Sorry you have to go through this, but I got to see Santa. Don't be sorry, but thank you so much for the support and the super chat. Cheers to you. Glad you're loving the snow. There's Dead Dog Records. Sam Patel, thank you for braving the weather. $1.99. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sam Patel. Cheers to you. You know what, Vasily? I'm going to try something just for future information. Because, can you hold this for a sec? This stream is now being broadcast by Vasily's hand.
You can feel the lack of expertise.
It's very amateur right now.
Unacceptable.
I'm losing viewers like crazy. Hold it steady, hold it steady. I have not used this audio receiver with the battery pack in this weather, and I want to see if the charge will increase or go down when it's cold out. So did it? Yes, it took the charge. So we're at 25%. I just want to see if that's going to go up or if that's going to. And you have to hold the cable like this, otherwise it'll tug down and the gimbal will be constantly fighting with the balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can notice like on.
The only thing I don't like about using a wireless mic receiver is that it goes down.
Well, this one is so light, that's why I use this. The quality's not quite as good as like the Rode or the DJI.
No, well, I mean when you connect the cable to it.
Oh,
When you connect the cable, the gimbal is constantly fighting the cable.
well, with this one being so, well, you make the cable have no weight by pinching it like this. The cable's weightless right now in the cable. But it's annoying because you have to hold it this way.
Is that a braided cable?
Nope. I have bad luck with those. They always stop working randomly every time I use a braided cable. Paulo says, hello from Brazil. Hello, Paulo. So I'm just, oh, it went up to 30. So we are gaining juice. That's good news. I worry if my microphone's going to survive though. Look at this thing.
It's fine.
There's the front microphone underneath my poppy. Oh, it looks like
That's the DJI, right?
what's DJI?
Mic 3?
Nope.
Oh.
It's they sent it to me. They asked me to feature it in a video,
Okay, well,
And
I
I-
don't know if it's going to survive then.
and I emailed them back, and they never replied to me, so I just kind of never got around to making a video with it. But I like it for live streaming. I don't like it for regular videos. But it's got a noise reduction mode, so when I'm driving, if you're blasting the heat or air conditioning, it'll cut that out. It is, because when you're driving, your phone gets so hot in the car, you have to turn the AC up, and then your phone overheats. So this lets me turn the AC right up, but then I can cut that annoying air conditioning sound out. I discovered that last time I went to Niagara. Hey, we're up to 34% battery. SJ says, where are we? We are on Church Street and going north up towards Bloor. I thought the snow was getting lighter, but it might just be the wind that picked up. It's blowing into our faces right now. It's quite annoying.
This is awesome.
So how many steps have you taken today?
Should I give you the Google Pixel amount or the Apple amount?
Either or?
I'm not wearing my Apple Watch, so I cannot really trust it. Can't trust the numbers today.
I'm only at 17,000.
Let's see. They claim 25 something.
It's a-
Claims 25,000.
I had a fitness ring that wasn't super accurate at that. Nowhere near as accurate as my watch or even my phone in the pocket. Not enough. It's Sunday. Sunday, a bloody Sunday. That's not making you think of Bono. What will?
I don't know my Google Pixel.
But holy cow, we got 1,100 people tuned in.
I'm guessing it's a little bit more than 25K.
Well, you've been out since morning.
I slept in.
I woke up at 7:30. Got my McDonald's breakfast, a few coffees.
Did you win anything?
I didn't check. Is that on the cup? I think I already threw my coffee cups out.
Well, I think they still have the monopoly until tomorrow.
Oh.
I don't know if they're actually doing the cups, but it doesn't matter. Nobody wins that stuff anyway.
Well, Alicia Lewis gave me a pretty awesome retro Tim Hortons cup for my birthday, so I poured one of the coffees into there and just tossed the cup. Am I using the Amazfit app? Yes, I am. You hope your scooter survives this storm? I've ridden my 9-Bot Max in these temps plenty of times. Speaking of which, I went to sell it because last year they were going for like $800-900. Now all of a sudden 9-Bot Maxes are going for like $200-300. So I was like, oh, that's all I'm getting. Maybe I'd rather just keep this thing.
What, like used?
Yeah. But they're kind of like the iPhone of scooters. They're not that interesting, but they're like really well built. And people just tend to prefer them. But they have fallen off a cliff in terms of the resale value. This is Bloor Street East going west on the south side. And look at that, I got my iPhone 15 Pro here back up to 40%. Gertich says 13 years ago today, Skyfall was released. Excellent soundtrack. Sorry to say, I'm more of a Mission Impossible guy, but still enjoyed it. Notice how there's so much more snow on the sidewalks up here? It's that like heat effect downtown. Snow just doesn't accumulate as well. Guy on a rental bike.
The subway doesn't necessarily run here.
Randy Ruck says you haven't got one snowfall or one snowflake in Owen Sound. We can have it?
Sure, yes. Please send it over.
We probably won't have any snow for a while after this.
By Canada Post.
Hey, at least they're delivering again. I was worried. I applied for a driver's license renewal right before the strike.
Yeah.
And because my birthday just came by, I was like, now what do I do? But it showed up. Greg Keating says, eat some snow. I'll try to pick out some nice yellow snow around the base of a tree, and we'll eat that.
I still got some important stuff while they were on strike. I think they just redirected it to Pier later.
Same company. Nico, fun fact, November 9th was the planned day for the Blue Jays Championship Parade. Last job, I promise.
Yeah.
Hey man, if your jobs come with super chats, job away. But thank you, Nico. All I will say is the better team did not win. No saltiness there. Oh, we got some sidewalk clearing action. It's like a ATV kind of.
Where's the orange truck?
Well, on Friday night, I ran out of my house after midnight because I didn't have any videos for Sunday morning, and I recorded a after midnight video. Little did I know, that's now probably not even going to be needed till Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh, another super rolled in. Let me take a peek at this. Randy Ruck. Johnny, you and Vasily grab a hot drink with the 20. Thank you so much, Randy Ruck. Will do, a good sir. Thank you for the super. There's the 97C. Let's see, it's 5:13. Go south on Yonge to the Ginger restaurant and buy a few chicken spring rolls. I'm a fan of that Ginger. Oh, we haven't hit an hour and a half yet. I think I'm gonna go up to Rosedale.
Rosedale.
Yeah. My stream's a little short. I'm only at an hour and 25. And I got plenty of batteries, so I can unplug the battery pack. There we go. What are you doing? Are you gonna follow, or are you gonna? All right,
I want to visit Yorkdale before I go home, so.
Tonight, Yorkdale.
It's on the way.
On transit?
Yeah.
Well, the best way would be to go on line 2 over to St. George and go north. If the crosstown were open, that would make sense. Yorkdale Mall is open till 9? What time does it close? Yeah, I was a bit surprised when I heard Yorkdale. I was like, oh, you're going to be a little short on time. That's Balzac's Coffee on the right.
I was wondering.
So we are now north out of downtown.
Or
On Yonge Street.
Liam was gonna live stream, so I might make a snipey snipe.
Where is he?
Oh, he's working, so he's probably gonna be on line 2. On Bloor somewhere.
At Fiesta or Uber?
At his day job.
Yeah, throw. Something in recycling there. Cannabis sold here. Come say hi. See, I first saw this when I was in Korea. I saw a lot of the delivery guys had these mitts on their motorcycles. It's a smart idea. Espero feels so bad for the feral stray kittens. Now your heart has to go to any animal that is out in the cold and not native to these temps. I saw, and I think it was an Instagram reel on a guy that his neighbors kept calling animal welfare and the police on him because he would leave his husky out during the day for hours at a time in his backyard in the snow. And he was like, the husky loves it. No, he was like, his dog, it's a husky. Like, it's built for that.
They kind of love burying themselves
Yeah.
in the snow.
And he would go out there and like, he showed him like, do you want to come in? And the dog would just like not want to come in. And a cop like told him off, saying you can't treat your animal like that. And he's like, buddy, it's a husky. He's like, my dog loves this. So yeah, it's cruel to a lot of dogs, but
Huskies have their fur specifically for that. To keep the snow away and
Yeah.
on top of them.
they're in their glory.
Actually, the more snow they get on top of the fur, the more heat they trap in, really. It's not like they're cold or anything.
You could probably find that reel on TikTok or Instagram if you search for it, but it was kind of funny that this guy who's just letting his dog out in the yard because that's where their dog wants to be. Their neighbor keeps calling the cops on them for animal abuse. I also watched a video on that guy. He's a guardian angel. He ran for the New York City mayor position a few times, but he lives in like a 300 square foot apartment and he has 18 cats. And the whole concept was like, you can't be a tough guy and a cat lover, but this guy was like, he is. And they were all stray, or they were all rescue cats, cats that were set to be euthanized. And they would take them in and acclimate them and show them love and care and then find a new home for them to basically give them a second chance. So the guy's got a heart of gold and he loves animals. But he's also got this macho tough guy image, but he's living with 18 cats in a small apartment. It's kind of a heartwarming story. The girl who made the little documentary piece went there to interview him on a different subject and got so taken away by all the cats he was surrounded by. Yeah, Lisa, 18 is a lot, but that would be 18 euthanized cats if he didn't do it. And they successfully rehoused most of them. Sal Smith says, get your pets spayed or neutered, as Bob Barker would always say. Heartwarming and smelly as fuck. His whole apartment was like kitty litter boxes and spaces for the cats. But yeah, people who live with cats often lose sight of how stinky those litter boxes are. My friend had one. I remember visiting his apartment. I was like, whoo, your place kind of stinks, dude. He's like, no, it doesn't. It's like, yeah, you're just used to it. Anyways, we're at Almer Road. A few weeks back, I did a live stream that set down Almer Road and walked through Rosedale Valley Road. Took in some beautiful fall colors. It's quite stunning that way. How do I not slip? I just walk normally and pay attention. Just wearing.
You have normal footwear, you don't slip.
Although you can step on like a grate or something and find it's very slippery. So it's important to scan the surface, but I haven't come across any ice or anything.
No, it's mostly just slush.
And it's only -1 or 2.
That's what I'm slipping.
But I am wearing waterproof boots, so it is what it is.
But I'm slipping because I don't have appropriate footwear for this. I didn't think the snow was actually going to stick.
I found I slip less since I stopped walking heel to toe. When I switched to like barefoot shoes, you develop a more natural like walking gait, I guess you would call it, and you use the pads of your feet more. But it adds a lot of stability.
Like an elephant.
All right, yeah, I think we're gonna head into Rosedale. I was thinking I could do the hero walk all the way home up to Yonge and Eglinton, but I want to get dinner. I want to take a shower. I want to put my feet up, and I got a stream at 8 p.m. Well, I don't have to, but I will. And I got all day. I got all day tomorrow to do diddly squat. It's crazy seeing trees with all their leaves on them at a nice fall color, covered in snow. It's quite a nice contrast. And I really, really dig this view. That's like, I guess you could call that the Yorkville skyline. But the stream will be over in about 3-4 minutes. I'm gonna go into Rosedale, one of my favorite subway stations. Let's see if I can get my phone to unlock.
There is no subway service on the portion of Line 1 between St. George and St. Andrews stations due to station work. Customers traveling downtown west of Yonge Street can transfer to service
No
routes
match.
next to Diamond Station or from
Okay,
downtown
my
station
Samsung Pay is
on
not
the other side
oh,
of
there we go.
Line 1. Check btc.ca for more information.
Wasn't registering my fingerprint there. Well, welcome to Rosedale Station. I will not be on that train. We'll be on the next one. I'm not going to run down there. I could. But we're going to sign off and say, hey, this is new. This is brand new.
While we respond to an emergency
Let's test it.
Oh, when did this open?
I don't know, but they've been trying to make every station accessible.
Yeah, they're But the elevator.
Oh, one bus is 2. That's confusing. 2 is the basement. Or 2 is down. Don't you think it should be the other way? Like 1.
Well, yeah, it should be.
Because this is like minus. Or I don't know. But hey, your accessibility needs have been met. I'm gonna hop on the next train and head up to Midtown. Yeah, Lisa, I just wanted to test it and show people that this inaccessible station is now accessible. Good stuff. Took way too long for them to do it, but I'm glad they did. And I'm gonna sign off now. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone who sent support, mods, Patreon supporters, channel members. Randy Ruck gonna pick up a hot drink or 2 on the way home. Thank you, Jeanette, for the hot chocolate as well. Just a reminder, I'm going live tonight around 8 p.m. on the Johnny Stumbles channel. So if you want to hang out with some people and continue the chat there, you may. And I should have a video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST or EDT on the channel, whatever your preference is. There's our moderator, Canadian Vasily, who tagged along for the last half of the stream. He's currently swiping away, but is there a closure on line 1? Yeah, line 1 is closed between St. Andrew and St. George, but that does not affect us. Anyways, I'm going to cue the credits. Thank you so much, guys. Stay warm, stay safe. And as always, I shall catch you on the next one. All right, thank you, guys. Subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff. You know you want to.